Now I'm going to taste it. That is so good. Oh my word. Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead. You're in the kitchen with me again, but we're not cooking anything today. Well, we kind of are, but nothing you will eat right now. Today, I'm going to show you how to make your own pumpkin puree. But I'm going to go there. I know you will see on some Rebel canning websites and even on some YouTube videos where people are canning pumpkin puree. That is not safe. You do not want to can pumpkin puree. I don't care if you pressure can it. I don't care how you can it. It's not safe. The density of it will allow botulism to grow very quickly, very easily, and spread throughout the entire jar. Yes, I know you can buy canned pumpkin puree in the store. Pressure canners that they use to can commercial canned goods comes to a much higher pressure point than a home pressure canner could ever do. I mean, it can can things inside of an aluminum can. I think that's pretty powerful. So it is safe when they do it because they can can under much higher pressure. Do not try to can pumpkin puree. I heard it said one time from Amanda from Freedom Acres. She doesn't do videos very often anymore. And last I heard, she is going to change the name of her channel. But I heard her say something one time that was so wise. She said, when you choose to start home canning, you are choosing to take the life and health of your family into your own hands. That is so true. Do you really want to risk the health and life of your family on some Rebel canning website or some Rebel canner who tells you that this is safe when it's really not? Do you really want to risk that? Because botulism can kill you. Just straight up, botulism can kill you. Now, you can pressure can chunks of pumpkin and then drain them really well and puree them. But if you want pumpkin puree at your ready to use anytime you want to use it, this right here, the way I'm going to show you right now, is the best way to do it. So now I'm going to show you the first steps. Look at this beautiful Cherokee Tan pumpkin. This is our first year growing them. I've got a lot of them cut up. We had 6 of them ready to go. We have 5 still turning and getting ready to go. So I thought I would go ahead and make these into pumpkin puree and show you how we did it. I was completely shocked when I cut into the first one. So I wasn't gonna cut into any of them on camera, but I have to share this with you. I was blown away. So this is what I do. As you can see, they're just a small pumpkin. They don't get very big. I usually take my knife, a large chef's knife. I'm using a Santoku. And I push down and make a score across the top. See? I make that score mark across the top. That way I have some place to securely put my knife point into. See, I hope you can see that where I made that score. Now, I will take my knife point and stick it down in about the middle of that score. And then I'll just cut on down. That's the safest way to cut through them. They are pretty hard where we have cured them. They are pretty hard. And then I just roll it onto its side, work my knife through till I feel it hit the bottom. Now you are going to be completely shocked when I open this up. Look at that color. That color is absolutely amazing. I have never seen color like that on a pumpkin. And I mean, some of these are even more so. Look at that. The beta carotene in this must be amazing because the color is just fabulous. And they are so juicy. And smelling them, they don't smell like a regular pumpkin. They don't smell like the pumpkins that you would normally use. They have a fruitiness. It's almost like the smell, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but the smell is almost like a cross between a pumpkin and a melon. It's insane. The smell is insane. The minute I cut these open and I started smelling them, oh, by the way, I guess I need to tell you what I'm doing. I am using a large stainless steel spoon, and see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it has kind of a sharper edge. That will help you gut the pumpkin better. And I'm just scooping out the guts and the seeds and all of that stuff that you don't want. Now you can roast these seeds and eat them. But the minute I saw what these looked like inside and smelled them, I started pulling out seeds to save, because I can honestly tell you, I don't know that I want to be a year without these. If they taste half as good as they smell and look, then this is going to be my pumpkin of choice to grow and to cook with, because the smell of these is unlike any pumpkin you've ever seen. Now, it's going to take a little work to get all the seeds out, but you want to make sure you scrape all those seeds and guts out of there. You want to make sure every one of those are out. See? They come out pretty easy. Once you get the spoon under them, they come out pretty easy. When I get all the seeds and guts out, I'll be back and show you the next step. Now, as you can see, we have 2 sheet pans here. And I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Now, I'm going to take these beautiful Cherokee Tan pumpkin halves that I have scooped out all of the seeds and all the guts. I'm going to turn them cut side down. You want to turn them cut side down onto your baking sheet. Now, I'll probably go ahead and put a couple of them over here just to kind of even out the trays. And now some of these are smaller, some of them are larger. Some of them will take more time than others. But either way, this is a small pumpkin variety. So this should only take about, these little itty bitties right here may only take about 25 minutes or so. But these bigger ones may take 35 to 45 minutes. We'll see how long it takes them. But if you're doing if you're doing large pumpkins, when you cut them in half and put them, scoop all the seeds, put them cut side down, you may want to roast them at 400 degrees for, it may take as much as an hour or more. Those are in the oven roasting. If you notice, if you look in and you flip them up and you notice that they are starting to brown, and you start getting a little afraid that they're going to burn, you can either turn the oven down to 375, or you can pour into your pan, which, by the way, I don't know if I told you this or not, but I lined the pans with, you can line the pans with foil or with parchment paper. Either one works just fine. It's just for easier cleanup. You will want to pour about a half a cup or so, a half to 3/4 of a cup of water into the bottom of the pan. If you see them seeming like they're going to burn or seeming like they're starting to brown a little bit and it's going a little too fast, just pour that little bit of water in the bottom of each pan and it will slow the cooking down completely and make them roast beautifully. You want them to roast until they are completely soft. You will see the skin even start to dent in and wrinkle. I will show you what that looks like when they are done. As you can see, they are out of the oven. They are completely tender. And as you can see, I did end up putting some water in the bottom. But just a little bit. It just takes about a half to 3/4 of a cup. It took, for the thickest part to get done, it took about 45 to 50 minutes for them to get completely tender. As you can see, some of them look like flat tires. But as you can see, you can insert a fork into them and see, it just pokes right in. Even into the thickest part of the meat, it's just poking right in. See, just poking right in. So now you want to let these cool so that you want them to cool down enough that you can handle them. Okay, they've now cooled enough so that I can handle them. I'm scooping out all the flesh and putting it into my food processor to puree it. You can also do this in a blender. A blender will also work really well. I'm just using my food processor. And I'm going to take all of these shells and hopefully I can get some footage of the chickens enjoying those, because it's quite entertaining watching them enjoy this. They love winter squash, and it's quite entertaining watching them enjoy winter squash remains. And by the way, I did taste this, the flesh, once it was done. And it does not taste like any other pumpkin that I have ever tasted. It is super sweet to the point that you don't need much sugar with this. You don't need much sugar with the Cherokee Tan pumpkin. And I am super, super impressed. I am definitely going to be using those seeds that I've pulled out to save. And I doubt we will ever be growing any other type of pumpkin other than Cherokee Tans, because they don't really taste real pumpkin-y. They taste a little more sweet potato-y almost. They have a little sweet potato-y flavor to them. And I love that. I love me some sweet potatoes. And you guys all know how Jason feels about them. He loves sweet potatoes. So this is definitely going to be interesting to use in pumpkin recipes. It's definitely going to be an interesting take. So I'm going to scoop all of this out. This is my last one. And as you can see, I've got a canister pretty full. Now, we're going to put the lid on here. And we're just going to pulse it a few times. That's all it's going to take in a food processor like this. I will leave a link in the description below to this one. It's a little pricey, but it's worth every penny of it. So I will leave a link in the description below to this. It's very powerful. I'm going to try pulsing it just a few times because that's all it's probably going to need to make it into a nice smooth puree. It's done. I pulsed it about 6 times and that's all it took. Amazing. Amazing. This is an amazing piece of equipment. It really is. Now I'm going to taste it. That is so good. Oh my word. That don't taste like pumpkin. That's stinking awesome. Now, I will show you how we're going to store this up. We're not going to can it. We're not going to can it. I'll show you what we're going to do though. What we're going to do, we're going to freeze these. We're going to freeze this. You can also just put it in your refrigerator, in a mason jar, or in a bag, or in a storage container. You can just put it in the fridge and it'll last for about a week, but you will have to use it in about a week. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to freeze it. It will last in the freezer for about 6 months. And it is definitely worth it because it's safer this way, much safer than trying to can it, no matter what anybody may tell you. And you'll have pumpkin puree ready in your freezer. anytime you need it. And trust me, we use a lot of pumpkin puree around here. I like to make pumpkin pancakes. You saw my pumpkin fried pies. This is going to be phenomenal in my pumpkin fried pies. And I'll show you several other recipes that we do with this pumpkin, because it is going to be amazing. I'm telling you, you cannot believe the flavor of this pumpkin. It is the best tasting pumpkin I've ever tasted. So, here's what you want to do whenever you're freezing something, so you don't get gunk all around your zipper, and then it won't seal. Flip it inside out. Flip the zipper part inside out. See? Now you've got a clean opening, and you'll have a clean zipper that way too. Now set it up so that you can, I would say I'll probably have about 2 bags, because I'm gonna put 2 cups in each bag. And I am gonna measure it, because a lot of times recipes call for about 2 cups of pumpkin or thereabouts. Okay, now I'm bringing back over my beautiful pumpkin puree, and I'm just gonna dip it into my measuring cup, because like I said, I am gonna measure it. And then I'm just gonna scoop right into my bag. Just scoop it right on into your bag. And like I said, I'm gonna do 2 cups or thereabouts in each one. It may be a little less than 2 cups. And because most cans of pumpkin are 15 ounces. So you wanna do about 15 ounces per bag, because you want it to mimic a can of pumpkin puree. So now we've got this bag all filled. Now you want to shake it down just like that. Now it's all at the bottom. Now you want to mash it down. Get all the air out of the bag. Now you want to flip your bag, the top of your bag, back over. Now you want to mash it down, get all the air out. Unless you have a vacuum sealer, that is. I don't have a vacuum sealer yet. I need one. Now you want to take your hand. This is for easier storage. You want to flatten it out. And if you see any air pockets forming, just crack the bag just a little bit. Crack your seal just a little bit. Push the air out. And then push your seal back down. There you go. There's your nice bag of pumpkin puree. Looky here. Ready to go into any of your favorite pumpkin recipes. Now I'm gonna finish up the rest of this pumpkin puree, and hopefully I can end this video with some awesome footage of the chickens enjoying that pumpkin. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you've learned something. Do not can this pumpkin puree. This is easier and safer. That's number 1. Safer. That's what's most important here, is that this is safer. This is a safer method than trying to can it, when it is not safe at all for canning. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you guys so much. God bless, and have an amazing day. Now have fun watching these adorable chickens.
Is that good, Maggie? Is that good, Maggie? Is that good, Miss Helga?
Tootie, what's Tootie? He's pounding it. She'll eat off my fingers. Eat off my fingers. Lucy trying to get her.
Ha ha!